Gentlemen and women, welcome back. This tennis clip on American cable television wasn't your typical one. It marked a sea change for the sport. In professional tennis, there are triumphs and awards, but there are also sporadic cultural shifts that rethink who is watching and why. Over the past 48 hours, Tennis Channel USA statistics have revealed something noteworthy. An unanticipated increase in viewing and interaction that completely deviates from what is typical for a mid-season show. In the past, this network has served a loyal, tech-savvy tennis fan base, reaching over 60 million households in the US. But this week, a viral wave struck that well-known ecosystem that nobody in the network really saw coming. The creators were amazed. The analysts were in a hurry. The execs were paying close attention. At the center of this digital maelstrom was Alexandra Eala, a 20-year-old left-handed player from Quezon City, the Philippines. Tennis Channel USA was shocked, based on the headlines. That only makes up a tiny percentage of it. They weren't just shocked. They were overwhelmed. What began as a standard piece highlighting Eala's rise into the WTA Top 50 quickly turned into a social media scandal. The segment was removed from the air. It survived the broadcast, spread across other channels, and started a global conversation. The footage, which included the top names in the sport, were enlarged, shared, and reposted at a volume that the network usually only sees during Grand Slam finals. Engagement rates began to rival those of Alcaraz, Golf, and C8. However, this surge was not the result of any American champion. The present is important since Alexandra Eala was in command. For decades, tennis has been searching for its next big growth market. China is where Lena was born. Nishikori and Naomi Osaka were introduced by Japan. The situation with Eala feels drastically different right now, though. This isn't phony advertising. This type of momentum is called organic. It's loud, strong, and inevitable. When a player who represents a nation that longs for a world-class athlete unexpectedly piques the interest of a household network of 60 million people, the result is inevitable. A spike in popularity that signifies something more significant than a single match or point. Thus, we're talking about more than just scores. We are investigating a phenomenon today. We're tracking her journey from Manila's courts to the world stage, looking at how the Rafa Nadal Academy shaped her ideas, analyzing how her style has evolved over time, and figuring out why this viral moment could be a harbinger of things to come for women's tennis. The United States has officially welcomed Alexandra Eala. The question of who she is has been resolved. The real question is how far she can go. The clips that are currently going viral make it clear that Rafa Nadal Academy has left her stamp on her game. It is demonstrated by the tenacious footwork, strong topspin, and determination to focus on just one thing. Eala recently discussed how, as a teenager, she used to train with Rafael Nadal. Imagine going up against the king of clay and trading blows on the court. Nadal offered her direct counsel. Spend time with the right people. That mindset might seem straightforward, even cliché, but in the competitive world of professional tennis, it can be the difference between burnout and longevity. And as a result of that influence, her playing has evolved. Her 2020 US Open Junior performance, in which she became the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam singles title, can be compared to her 2025 to 2026 season results. Furthermore, the evolution cannot be denied. At junior level, grit and consistency were adequate. On the WTA Tour against rivals including as Jessica Pegula and Aryna Sabalenka, it takes more than just grit to win games. You have to be armed. And that is exactly what the well-liked films on the Tennis Channel demonstrate. Her new toolbox, especially the left forehand. Being a lefty already causes tactical chaos in women's tennis since it creates angles that are challenging for right-handers to defend. But Eala has gone beyond. She is flattening the shot, taking the ball earlier and turning defense into attack. That shift was noticeable during her historic US Open matchup with Clara Tauson. She became very well known in the US because to that contest. In the decisive set, she didn't give up. She stepped forward. It is the pinnacle of Nadal's influence. The US Open run alone explains the increased interest of the American viewers. New York has the loudest and most chaotic tennis Grand Slam. If you wish to succeed there, you must put up with the noise. Eala thrived there as well. The Filipino community in New York showed up in force. The outdoor courts were similar to those used for the Davis Cup. The electrifying atmosphere, resonant cries, and fluttering flags were too much for television cameras to ignore. Soon after, broadcasters made a significant discovery. Eala not only brings results, but also a crowd. A player who establishes their own ambience is also a television broadcast gem. Beyond the emotion and story, though, the results speak for themselves. Making it into the WTA Top 50 is one of the most difficult climbs in professional tennis. The margin between the top 50 and top 100 separates prospective qualifiers from normal main draw competitors. Crossing that line signified a substantial shift. Eala's future is no longer bright. She's a real contender. When she won a gold medal at the Southeast Asian Games in late 2025 without losing a set, her career trajectory took a dramatic reversal. For her fans, her victory represented more than just a title. Pressure, expectation, and patriotism all played a part. The capacity to withstand such strain is necessary for closing matches at the highest level of the WTA Tour. With this level of exposure, pressure is a new reality. The story of Naomi Osaka and Emma Raducanu has already been told. The abrupt transition from popular with the media to a popular tourist site. Due to the reach of tennis broadcasters, Eala is increasingly appearing in the living rooms of casual American sports enthusiasts. She is now more than just a national hero. She is starting to gain international recognition as a tennis player. That has a significant impact. Your opponents do more research on you. Your habits are examined by coaches. Furthermore, if we're being totally honest, the second serve still has the most potential for improvement in her game. Her kick serve works well on clay, but it could not hold up on the fast, hard US courts if the placement isn't perfect. Viral interest is followed by microscopic examination. Each weakness is thoroughly investigated. But because of her adaptability, the tennis community is optimistic. Even at the young age of 20, I've already shown that I have the special capacity to alter her strategy when playing against elite opponents. Check out her matchup with Jessica Pegula in Miami. Pegula engages in a relentless, dull, and oppressive game. But Eala stayed up and battled back and forth. She did not leave the courtroom. Even though she lost, that performance showed that she belongs at WTA 10,000 level competitions. Tennis Channel analysts can see this trajectory clearly. Instead of just covering her rise, they are making an investment in it. Because if she performs well at the US Open or Indian Wales, that massive 60 million household reach immediately becomes ratings gold. There's also a bigger global shift happening. The Asian swing at the end of the season has often been overlooked by Western media, but Eala is changing that attitude. She is currently one of the best intermediaries between American fans and competitions in Beijing, Tokyo, and Hong Kong. This viral event suggests something more significant. In order to stay up with the increasingly worldwide dispersed tennis audience, broadcasters are rapidly adapting. What struck Tennis Channel the most was the magnitude of the diaspora effect. This is usually understated by traditional analytics. When Eala's segment aired, the increase in interaction most likely looked almost incredible. However, it wasn't bots. They had finally witnessed someone who looked like them being acclaimed as a star on a big sports network, therefore it was genuine. People were simultaneously watching from all throughout the United States. That is, the capacity of representation to convert into numerical values. Opportunity also comes after popularity, endorsements, sponsorships, visibility, and crossover. Her degree of American popularity offers the possibility of mainstream partnerships and cultural significance outside of the tennis sphere, despite the fact that she is currently a Nike player.